what surprises me is this. It surprises me that stinking Tar Heels are out here calling for the man to be stinking fired.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Ross the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, baby, we're going to change it up just a little bit, man, because I want to warn Tar Heel Nation, all of my stinking Tar Heel football fans, about what's transpiring with the Bill Belichick situation, dude. I feel like it's incumbent upon me to use whatever kind of platform that I have to warn people, you know, and the whole point of the Tar Heel huddle, to be completely honest with you, was for me to be able to express my fandom, you know, to Tar Heel Nation, to the college football and college basketball world. And, you know, you can like it or lump it, to be completely honest with you. This is going to be a very polarizing video in the sense that I'm probably either going to gain some subscribers or I'm going to lose some subscribers. Hell, it might even stink and be both, man. And to be completely honest with you, I don't stink and give a rip, okay? My love for the University of North Carolina football and basketball program far exceeds what I think about what Joe Schmo has to say, you know, on the internet. And you know what? To be fair, that may be exactly what you're thinking about me. But whatever, dude. So before we get into Bill Belichick, man, just to make sure you guys know who I am, my name is Russ the Tar Heel, okay? Class of 1986. And I know what it probably immediately went through your head right there was that, you know, that would make you like 60 years old, Russ. You look pretty good. Wrong. I was thinking born into this thing. I don't have a degree on the wall that says that I attended the University of North Carolina. I am the #1 Walmart fan. Now, you know, before you start, you know, thumbing your nose at me and thinking that you're, you know, better than me, you need to understand that I'm like 5 semester hours short of a bachelor's degree. And I just didn't finish because I don't need to finish based off of what I do. So, you know, that's neither here nor there. The point of this video is to warn Tar Heel Nation about what's transpiring with this whole Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson ordeal. And if you can hear in the background, somebody's doing their lawn out there, so I apologize for the noise back there. But I need you to think and give me 10 to 15 minutes of your life. I know that's asking a lot, and I need you to allow me to express this concern to you. Now, I've been a Tar Heel football fan, dude, since I basically started playing football, okay? About 7 years old. I'm 38 right now, so it's been a little over 30 years. And I haven't had this much hope or excitement in a while. And I can only point to a couple of times, especially in my adult life, where I've had the excitement that I've had about North Carolina football, man. And one of those is honestly when Mac Brown returned back in 2019. Obviously, it was announced in 2018. We had gone through just a horrendous downfall under Larry Fedora towards those later stages, you know, of his coaching, you know, career, head coaching career, if you will. And, you know, it seemed like all hope was lost. And then Mac Brown, you know, came back on, and a lot of people were kind of iffy about it because of his age, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, I had hopes that he could finish the job that he had basically, you know, left in 95, 96, 97 time frame, you know, and he left for whatever reason. There's differing opinions of why he's thinking left the first time. Now, Mac ran into some problems, and stick with me here, okay? I need you to have the attention span of more than a goldfish for a second, okay? Mac ran into problems. The entire college landscape changed. And, you know, he just couldn't change enough with it. The things that made him great as a recruiter, especially, started to kind of go out the window, especially with the financial situation that Carolina was in and the supposed lack of finances that they were allowing him to utilize in order to attract talent. Years of finishing seasons terribly with generational talents like Sam Howell, Drake May, Omarion Hampton. Years of that finalized with a 6-7 campaign and being embarrassed in the bowl game. And I think everybody understood that it was time to stink and move on, but we didn't know which direction we were going to go in. And quite frankly, it's because a lot of people, myself included, were thinking about who is really out there that would come to Carolina and turn this thing around, right? This is the land of the perpetual sleeping giant. Everybody has always talked about what Carolina could be, And then just the gift of gifts, okay? Everything lined up perfectly, in my humble opinion, for arguably the greatest coach in the history of football at any stinking level, the 6-time Super Bowl winning champion head coach, Bill Belichick, somehow just falls in our stinking lap, dude. And not only does Bill Belichick genuinely want to coach at the University of North Carolina, an ACC team, Coach Belichick was able to convince the powers that be to, for all intents and purposes, just completely open up the financial coffers so that we could attract talent. Now, this has not played out exactly how I anticipated that it would play out, to be completely honest with you, okay? And I'm talking about strictly from a recruiting standpoint. That's for another video in and of itself, but just to really kind of give you what I'm talking about is we haven't gotten the 4 and 5 star guys, okay? As a whole, like a lot of us maybe anticipated, but what he does, what he's known for, is recruiting guys that are under the radar, okay? And I'm comparing this unto the draft, right? Tom Brady was selected, I think, in the 6th round. Is probably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Julian Edelman was a stinking wide receiver or a quarterback at Kent State who he basically transitioned into a slot receiver who was extremely effective in New England. The guy finds stinking talent. That's what he does, man. And Carolina is paying him $10 million, right, annually to come and coach at the university, okay? And that's all fine and dandy. I'm super excited about where everything's going, and I have the utmost faith in Bill Belichick being able to do what needs to be done for this program to actually stink and take off until he proves me wrong. Now, the point of the video is this, man. I don't expect anything other than, what is there, 133 FBS teams now, something of that nature. I don't expect anybody outside of Chapel Hill, anybody that doesn't wear Carolina blue, to be excited about this. I don't expect anybody outside of Carolina, Chapel Hill, to be pulling for this to be successful. Actually, what I think is that a lot of people are terrified that this could actually be something, of a success story, if you will, in 2 or 3 years. And that is why there has been all of these things that are pertaining to everything except being just in the news. And you can say some of that is self-inflicted all you want. Why is he on Instagram doing these photos? Why is his girlfriend always with him when he's doing book reviews and, sitting down with the media and everything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever Bill Belichick decides to do in his personal life, I personally don't give 2 stinking rips what he does, as long as on Saturdays he is focused and he is calling the stinking shots and he's getting us stinking W's. That's all I care about. I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form that everybody on the outside, ESPN, Fox Sports, all the other fan bases of teams, the colleges, the coaches that are using this against him, that doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is this. It surprises me that stinking Tar Heels are out here calling for the man to be stinking fired. People are legitimately, I'm talking about Carolina football fans, Okay, and I'm gonna try not to get too pissed off about this. Carolina football fans, okay, in a time of where we have just been mediocre at best, underachieving at best, and Carolina fans, okay, are on these stinking social media accounts and everything, and they already want the man gone. And I think that that is the dumbest thing that I have ever stinking seen. And I'm going to tell you this right now, like seriously, guys, okay? And like I said, this is going to be a polarizing video, and it is what it is, man. If you can't take the heat, get out the stinking kitchen. You are an absolute moron, okay? There is no, bro, take your head out of your fourth point of contact and listen to yourself. You are allowing this whole girlfriend thing to completely get you on what is actually important here. Football. 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 Hey, wake up. Wake up. Football is what's important. I don't care what he does with his girlfriend. I don't care that there's a 50-year age gap. I don't care that she's in the book interview with him and she's interrupting when they ask them questions about their relationship. Listen to me. I don't care, and neither should you. And this is the reason why I'm saying that I want to warn Tar Heel Nation. He does have a clause in his contract that says he can get out of here, okay? And the university only has to stinking pay him like $1 million as a termination fee. You better be stinking careful what you stinking ask for, dude. You better be stinking careful what you ask for. I cannot believe that there are so many Tar Heels that are out here pushing this stupid narrative before the man has even coached a college football game. And Bill Belichick, coach, if you can hear me, this Tar Heel is stinking behind you, bro. Okay? I want you to be successful. I believe you can be successful. And I have the uttermost faith in your ability to coach football on Saturdays. I don't give two rips what you do on your own stinking time. Well, Jordan Hudson she's hurting the brand. Stop it. I don't care about what all these other people think. At the end of the day, whatever. Okay, you say, hey, Russ, are you trying to say that, if you could just snap your fingers and she would be quiet and get out of the spotlight, you wouldn't do that? Of course I would. But stop making it more than what it is, guys. Especially you Tar Heels. Especially you Tar Heels, man. I don't expect anything else from those stinking clowns in Raleigh or Manny Diaz and the Dukies up in Durham or any other stinking, high-profile program that doesn't want this to work because it could possibly, step on their toes. I don't expect them to think anything different. But stop letting these outside influences get you all hot and bothered, dude, to where you want the greatest coach of all time that none of us thought was even a plausibility. And you want him stinking gone before he even has a chance. Before he even has a chance to stinking win some football games at a high level. It's so ridiculous, man. I mean, listen. There are some shallow people in the world. And unfortunately, Americans as a whole, okay, are extremely shallow. There's a reason why, and I'm not going to get all political on this, but there's a reason why, some of you need to look in the mirror and get a little bit more, less shallow, dude. Less shallow. You like Ronald Reagan, you like Barack Obama because they're great orators. You like Mac Brown because he's a great orator. You hate Joe Biden and you hate Donald Trump because they're not great orators. You don't care what work is being done behind the scenes to fix the culture, to fix the stinking program, to get guys that want to be here and work hard. You don't care about that. All you care about is surface level issues. You care about these stinking clowns out here making this a big deal. I mean, just 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 do a Google search on Bill Belichick right now. It's all related to Jordan Hudson. And you consume that and you say, we got to get this guy out of here. It's bad for the brand. It's bad for whatever. Dude, who's going to replace him? Please. Please. Who's going to win us some stinking football games? Please. I need to know who is going to stinking get the job done. I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm completely befuddled at how quickly a fan base that has just been marred with mockery in the football program could have such a crazy situation come to actual fruition, and then you're ready to get rid of them. I mean, before this thing even gets on its stinking feet, man. And you better be careful what you wish for, because, this guy doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us anything. And you could very well push him out where he says, you know what, man? This ain't even stinking worth it. This is an ungrateful fan base. They can't even stinking allow me to have my own personal life. They can't even stinking have my back. Here I am trying to change for this program. And I got, my own stinking guys trying to get me out of here. Ungrateful, unfaithful. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness stinking gracious. Some of you might be thinking that I'm over the top here. No, I think this whole situation is stinking over the top. And once again, I don't expect anything different from anybody else outside of Chapel Hill. But the dude hasn't even coached a football game yet. And for people to legitimately be calling for him to step down, to be fired, dude, what in the stinking world? I mean, like sometimes, man, I ask myself, how serious is the Carolina fan base? Like, honestly, how serious are you guys about winning? Or are you just completely, you're just completely okay with mediocrity and everything that we do? Everything that we do. And I'm not saying that there's not a time to give a stinking coach some stinking pushback. You guys know, since this channel has started, I have given Mac Brown a ton of pushback. And I was one of the ones saying it was time to stinking move on when a lot of people were saying, hey, one more year. We got to give him another opportunity. One more chance. No, 6 years is enough. And I'm getting to that point with Hubert Davis. But this guy hasn't even coached yet. And he's the greatest coach of all time. And some of you stinking clowns want him gone. Goodness gracious, man, I need you to think, further than 2 steps in front of you for just a second. For just a second, Tar Heel Nation. We have got to be better, man. We have got to be better. We have to understand the opportunity that has been placed at our stinking feet, man, and you need to latch on and grab up. You need to grab onto that thing. This is arguably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Carolina football to mean something. Don't stinking push this guy away, dude. Don't you stinking push this. Don't you take that from me, Tar Heel Nation. I've been going hard at this thing, dude, for over 30 years. I want this. I need this. I'm not telling you that it's going to happen. I'm not going to tell you he's going to be able to get the job done. But I'm telling you, if there's a man that can stink and do it, it's this man. That's what you need to understand. And quite frankly, like I said, man, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm entitled to mine. I'm just tired of seeing my own brothers and sisters in Carolina Blue stinking, just completely berate this guy on the internet. And he's never even coached a football game, and he doesn't even stinking have to be here. Man, y'all need to stinking, like I said, you need to have a little bit of foresight, dude. You need to stinking, use your stinking brain. Have a little bit of common sense. Now, like I said, if you don't like this man, tough apples, dude. I felt like this is one of those ones that I needed to get out there because, quite frankly, I'm just sick of people trying to squander this opportunity that this university has right now. And I do believe that he's doing fantastic things behind the scene. But he's just not out there giving you 1 hour stinking, media briefings and everything. And so, because of the lack of exposure, because of the lack of, attention that you actually want, and you're allowing all these external sources to, basically mold and shape your own understanding of what could be what's happening at the program, you're ready to get this guy out of here, man. I can't stink and stand it, dude. I can't stink and stand it. All I can do is speak for myself, man, me and my house. But I'm telling you right now, Coach Belichick, if you're out there, there are those who want you here. There are those who don't stink and give two rips what you do in your personal life, man. Win us some stinking football games, baby. And that's all I stinking got, man. If you haven't already, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to the stinking channel. It's always a great day to be a Tar Heel, even when some of you guys are so ready to stinking turn in your daggone colors, man. But I love you anyway. Go Heels, baby.